The Slavic house spirit that brings death. Terrifying first-person horror story. I used to laugh at people who talked about ghosts or house spirits. My mom, on the other hand, has always believed in them. Old Slavic legends, omens, ancestral curses. She loved all that. Me? I was a rational person. I had a normal life. Logical, structured. Everything made sense. Until that night. It started innocently enough. A quiet September evening, the wind picking up outside. I was finishing some work. The only light in the room was my computer screen. I remembered I had left a plastic bag with old newspapers in the hallway. I got up to grab it, and that's when I heard the sound. A rustle, like someone was dragging fingers across plastic. Slow, uneven. Then, footsteps. Small ones. Tap, tap, tap. Coming from the corner of the room near the wardrobe. I froze. My first thought was, the cat. But no. He was in the kitchen. I had left him there, curled up by the radiator. So, what was making that noise? It grew louder. Tap. Tap. Then, something heavy fell. Thud. I turned on the lights. Nothing. Just silence. My stomach tightened like ice. The next morning I told my mom about it. She just smiled, almost as if she had been expecting it. "It's the Domovoy," she said. I scoffed. "Come on, Mom. It's 2025, not the Dark Ages." She looked at me calmly. "You think they care about dates?" And then she told me a story I'd never heard before. It happened years ago, right after my dad filed for divorce. I had gone off to summer camp and she stayed behind in our old apartment, alone. She was a wreck, barely sleeping, smoking constantly, praying at night. Then one night, she woke up from a sudden chill. She felt something beside her on the bed. Not someone. Something. It didn't breathe, didn't move, but the mattress sank slightly under its weight. She turned her head and saw a small figure sitting there, dark and hunched, with what looked like a winter cap. It slid off the bed and walked toward the door, feet brushing softly against the wooden floor, and vanished. Later that same day, she got a phone call. Her father, my grandfather, had died that night. Around the same time she saw the figure. I wanted to laugh it off, but I couldn't. That night, I had a dream. I was back in my childhood home. The floors creaked the way I remembered. I heard whispers from the hallway. I walked toward the sound. He was sitting on the cabinet near the front door, small, wearing a fur-lined cap, black, bottomless eyes. In his hands, my engagement ring. "That's not yours," he said. "Whose is it?" "The one who's leaving." I woke up shaking. My first thought, my mom. I called her. She was fine. Called my aunt, also fine. But something in me knew someone wouldn't be fine for long. Things got worse. My cat stopped coming into my room. He avoided the corner by the wardrobe. At night, he'd sit in the hallway, staring at the wall, unmoving. I started waking up every single night at the exact same time, 3:11 a.m. I thought it was coincidence. Then the power flickered one night, right at 3:11, and I heard scratching inside my wardrobe. I got up to check, took one step, but my legs wouldn't move. Frozen. Then I heard it. A child's voice, soft as breath. "She won't wake up." and everything went black. The next morning, my aunt called. Her daughter, my cousin, was in the hospital, collapsed in her dorm. Heart failure. 22 years old. I visited her in intensive care. Outside the room, I stood frozen, watching the machines beep. An old nurse walked past me and suddenly stopped. She looked me straight in the eye and whispered, "You saw him, didn't you? The one with the cap. Don't ask who he is. They only bring messages." "They?" I asked, confused. "There's never just one," she said, and walked away. My cousin survived. But she didn't speak for 2 days. Then she told us she saw a man standing at the foot of her bed, saying something. She couldn't remember the words. That night, I went to my grandmother's village. She lived the old way: firewood, candles, dogs, salt under every window. She opened the door, looked at me once, and said, "You brought him with you. Now he's yours." I broke down crying. She told me everything. A long time ago, a woman in our family had been a witch. She could talk to the house spirits, could ask for help or punishment. When a child died after one of her visits, she was cursed, and every second daughter in the bloodline would see the Domovoy before tragedy. I was the second daughter. Things spiraled. I started hearing footsteps at night, the smell of smoke in my room. The cat disappeared for 3 days. I set up a camera to record everything. The next morning, footage wiped clean. One night I woke up, and there were words written in soot across my mirror. "She is coming." 2 days later, my best friend died in a car crash. We had just texted before she left. The time of death? 3:11 a.m. I couldn't take it anymore. I went to a church. The priest listened quietly, then said, "There are spirits that guard the house, but they don't always serve good. Pray, and tell him, 'I hear you, but I do not accept your gift.'" So I did. That night, I had one final dream. Back in the apartment. He stood by the window, holding an hourglass. "Your time is past," he said. "What does that mean?" "Now it's me. Watch." And he vanished. Since then, nothing. No noises, no dreams. The cat sleeps in my room again. But I know better now. He didn't leave. He's just waiting. Because the Domovoy only comes before something important. And when he does, you don't get a second warning. Thanks for watching and staying till the end. If you liked this story, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. You never know what's coming next.